I know you love earning travel rewards and cash back, and that's why you're going to love Rakuten. With Rakuten, you can earn cash back on everything you need to book your dream trip, hotels, flights, rental cars, experiences, and more, while still booking through your favorite travel sites. And don't worry, cash back can be earned on top of earning the credit card points and the hotel and airline loyalty points that matter most to you, depending on how you make your booking. Plus, with Rakuten, you can also earn cash back on groceries and other purchases like electronics, pet supplies, and more. And the best part, you can join today for free and start earning cash back on top of your travel rewards. Go to Rakuten.com or get the app. That's Rakuten, Rakuten. Rakuten, the most rewarding way to shop. Hey, it's Jason here. Quick announcement before we dive in. I wanted to pull an episode out of the archives for you this week. And I thought of an episode that I recorded way back in 2018, which is kind of funny to listen to right now. You can maybe hear the difference even in my voice. But I kind of found this again after thinking about my days as a skateboarder. And I remembered interviewing these guys who traveled 950 miles from Chicago to New York on their skateboards. And it was a very sort of spontaneous, unplanned kind of thing. And there were a lot of lessons in this episode that I walked away from. And for some reason, it just stuck out in my head as, this is one from a while ago that I think has a lot of good stuff in it. Some, life lessons we can pull out, and also just the adventure in and of itself was really cool. So that was why I pulled this one out. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show. Everybody's got a little rebel in them, right? Maybe more than a little rebel. Coming up, some thoughts on rebellion and travel. Plus, often wonder sometimes if it's better to do a lot of research or no research at all when you get into an adventure. And today you're going to hear a story about a group of friends that had no preparations at all, really, didn't know what they were doing. They took something they were passionate about and just brought it out on the road and went for it. And now they're reflecting back on that journey and turning it into a film. And you're going to hear this inspiring tale today and much more. It's all happening next. Thank you so much for being a part of this listening community, my friend. And welcome to the Zero to Travel podcast.
You're listening to the Zero to Travel podcast, where we explore exciting travel-based work, lifestyle, and business opportunities, helping you to achieve your wildest travel dreams. And now your host, world wanderer and travel junkie, Jason Moore.
Hey there, it's Jason with ZeroToTravel.com. Welcome to the show, my friend. Thank you so much for hanging out, spending a little time letting me bring a little travel into your ears. This is the show to help you travel the world on your terms, to fill your life with as much travel as you desire, no matter what your situation or experience. And you're joining many thousands of listeners from around the world. Thank you so much for being a part of the caravan, this listening community. Got to welcome the new listeners as well. I've been getting a lot of emails, people checking in, letting me know they found the podcast and they're binge listening, which I love, sending me some pictures from out on the road. I got some pictures from New Zealand the other day. I think that was Kara that wrote me an email. Just love when people check in. If you want to get in touch, reach out anytime. My email address is jason@zerototravel.com. And I got an exciting show for you today. Something that I was very passionate about for a long time. I still enjoy this group of friends took skateboards on a journey across the U.S. some years ago. Now they're reflecting back on their journey. I don't want to ruin too much by dropping too many teasers here, but I think you're really going to dig this interview because there's a lot that comes out of this, not only from the travel and adventure standpoint, but also, should you start something before you're ready or before you've done all of the research? And what was it like when you reflect back on your travels and comparing that to where you are today, and all of these different questions that can come up, and just hearing how this trip evolved for this group of friends and how they just kind of came up with this idea and decided to go for it. It's great. So I'll give you a quick warning. If you're kicking around some ideas and they seem a little crazy, I don't know. This show might put you over the edge and just be like, you know what? I'm just going to do this idea. Screw it. So there's a little warning for you there. And I've got a shout out to one of you amazing souls in this listening community. And I got to talk about rebellion and travel as well and how that all plays in. I'm going to save that for after the interview so you can get right into it and listen in on our conversation. Please enjoy. I'll see you on the other side, my friend.
I've been skateboarding for about like, what?
No idea.
We have no idea really because
You're lost.
we weren't paying attention to the signs.
For the most part, I think we did have the route planned. At least we knew the direction that we were going.
Out of desperation, we bought a road map, and the funny thing with the road map was we didn't know how to read a road map.
What's this one? What's that town right there, Joliet? That's Joliet Street.
So it was kind of like embarrassing for me.
You're just hoping that you don't die on this trip.
I've covered a lot of modes of transportation on this podcast, from walking around the world to bike touring, horseback riding, and more. But this is a first. My guest today traveled 950 miles from Chicago to New York on his skateboard with a group of 3 other 20-year-olds back in 2008. And they have just released a film about the journey called Shred America. You can learn more at shredamericafilm.com. He's here to talk about the adventure, what it's like to experience America by long-distance skateboard, travel filmmaking, and much more. Mike Kosciesza. Is that right?
Close. It's Kosciesza.
Kosciesza. Welcome to the Zero to Travel podcast, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was awesome.
Sorry, man. I practiced like 4 or 5 different times on your name, and I still couldn't get it. But are you Polish, or is it that your background, or are you from Poland?
Yep. Yeah, I was born in Poland, in Suwałki, but we moved to the States in '93 when I was 6.
When you were 6, okay. Do you remember your time there at all? Or
barely. I remember little, bits and pieces in my memory, but nothing like clear or yeah. I don't remember much.
Do you still speak the language, or?
I do, yeah. So like growing up, I spoke Polish to my mom and dad, and they took me to Polish school, which was like on Saturdays for a few hours.
Yeah.
And you learn how to read and write and speak. So I have like a high school diploma from Polish school.
Okay, yeah, but I still hear a Chicago accent, so you didn't have a hard time balancing those two, I guess.
No.
Well, that's cool that your parents did that, because and I always wondered if I grew up in like an international family, like I would be so pissed at my parents if they didn't teach me the language,
Yeah, I mean, like growing up, I was like, Mom, like I don't want to go to Polish school. I don't want to talk to you in Polish, but now, like as an adult, I say thank you to her all the time for raising me, learning how to read and write and speak Polish. So it's pretty cool.
Well, I figured it out too, because not only from your last name, but then I saw one of you guys on an interview on Polish TV, and I'm thinking, oh, they just Polish TV just found them and they just did this random thing. And then he started speaking Polish, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. So that's cool.
Yeah.
I want to kick this off with a very important question, so I hope you're ready for this, man, because this gets intense pretty fast. Are you goofy foot or regular?
I am goofy footed. Yeah.
And that just means, well, you should explain what that means for those non-skateboarders out there, I guess.
Yeah, so there's regular footed and goofy footed, and kind of like a hybrid called mango, I guess, if you're pushing mango. But it's basically which foot you push with, it feels more natural to you. So generally, if you're right-handed, you would push regular. And if you're left-handed, you would push goofy. But for me, it's kind of like flipped. So I'm right-handed, but I push goofy.
Right on. And congrats on the film, by the way. We're going to get into all this. I was really excited because I was a huge skateboarder growing up. Like, that was my thing. All I did was skateboard from the time I was, I guess it was probably like from 5th or 6th grade, like through high school, basically. Like, we would skate, I don't know, 5 miles or something just to get to this pathetic little drainage dish, like just so we could ride it back and forth and pretend we were on like a big half pipe or something. And there were some other half pipes like hidden in the woods and stuff that we would skate like miles to. All right, that was pretty far, but that's nothing compared to what you guys were just doing per day, So what I'm saying is, I know that feeling of like skating some miles, but like not like 50 miles a day or whatever you guys did. I mean, how was that? Where did the idea come from?
Yeah, so skateboarding, it was such a big part of my life growing up, like yours. And one thing that kind of goes hand in hand with skateboarding is videography and filming. Because whenever you skate, usually a buddy will come out with his camera, whether it's his dad's camera or his own, and he's got the fisheye lens, and we all used to just shoot each other skateboarding and come out with little like videos, skate videos, and put music to it.
Part of the culture.
Yeah, part of the culture. And this is also kind of like when YouTube was first starting out, so you're able to upload your videos to the internet, and that was really cool. But one day I just hit up Arthur Swedinsky, who's my buddy, my good friend, and we've been friends since 7th grade. And I was like, man, let's go do something crazy on skateboards. Like, we love skateboarding. Why don't we shoot a documentary while we do this travel and see what happens? So it just kind of naturally, for, having a passion for skateboarding and filming, we're like, let's just do something crazy and go.
How old were you at that time?
I came up with the idea like when I was like 19 or 20. We did it when we were 20 years old.
How long after you had the idea did you guys actually go?
So I came up with the idea like in the winter of 2007, and we planned for about 6 months or so to a year, and then we left in the summer of 2008.
Okay. So did your buddy take you seriously? I mean, were you guys like, this is like a fun idea, but whatever? Or like, was there a moment where you guys like, no, we're doing this for real?
I think it was the moment like, yeah, we're doing this for real. I contacted him, I called him up and I was like, let's do something crazy. Let's skateboard from Chicago to New York. And it was never like, should we do it? Should we not do it? What are our parents going to say? Nothing like that. It was just like, we're going to go. And a few months later, we planned to go on June 2nd, 2008, figured out a date. We're like, it's going to happen.
Picking a date's key, right? I mean, did that help you guys to pick a date like that?
Yeah, totally. Because, before you pick a date, it's just this kind of idea.
Theoretical, yeah.
Swarming in your head, and you tell people. But until you have a date to actually go on something or do something, it's just an idea. As soon as we set a date, it was full steam ahead. So we had to find 2 guys to come with us to be kind of like the cameraman, which turned out to be a disaster because biking and filming doesn't go hand in hand.
So the 2 guys were on bikes. The idea was that you guys would be on skateboards, they would be on bikes, and they would be filming the whole thing.
Yeah. Like we didn't know what we were doing, first of all. So we thought that, these guys will be on bikes. They could also film us since, biking is quicker and easier.
They could get ahead and get shots of you guys coming and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. They could bike down like, a mile or so ahead and get the shots. But it quickly turned out to be the bikes were even harder than the skateboards because, just so many issues with the bikes. And basically, James Lagan, who's from Des Plaines, Illinois, suburb of Chicago, and Tony Michael, he's also a good skate park buddy of ours. So James never rode a skateboard before or really biked. Tony, however, knew how to skateboard, and he was a skate park buddy. But we told him, hey, guys, you guys are going to bike, but you're also going to have these baby trailers behind you towing all our equipment, camping gear, etc. So these poor guys were schlepping like an additional 60 to 70 pounds behind them as they were trying to catch up.
Yeah, like hurry up, just beat ahead, guys. Come on, what's your problem?
Yeah. So, and our original idea was like, the film will be about me and Arthur. We're skateboarding, blah blah blah. But it quickly turned out to be about all 4 of us and kind of our struggle together. Getting from A to B.
Why did it take 8 years to make this film?
That's the question we get.
Sorry, 10 years. 10 years.
10 years. Yeah. 10 years.
A decade. Like, what have you been doing the last decade? Tell me. Really quick. Just tell me really quick what you've been doing the last 10 years now.
Working, making other movies, hanging out, still good friends with all those guys.
Living your life.
Yeah, living my life, and always having this film on the back of my mind, knowing it's got to get done.
Have you been making other films like between?
Like shorts, working on other people's films. So I work in post-production.
Okay.
In television and film, mainly TV documentaries. So I work as an assistant editor professionally. The film was supposed to be kind of like paving the way for us to, make more films and get into the industry, whatever. And it sort of did that. But it just took 10 long years because, I could go talk about it, year by year. But basically, we were all just trying to live our lives, go to school, have jobs. And we came out with about 100 hours of footage that we had no idea what to do with. We shot everything like cinema verite, meaning like it was just there in the moment. There was no interviews of us. Nothing was planned. We just kind of shot it as we went. And we came back with about 100 hours of footage, and we're like, what are we going to do with this? This is awful footage. Well, it's not awful, but it's so random. How do you put something together? So the first 3 or 4 years we put on the back burner just because
too overwhelming,
we were so overwhelmed. We were kind of on this high as well after we got back from the trip. We did something so cool and so adventurous. We're we don't want to sit in front of a computer and work on this thing. But we did string out the entire film. It was about 4 hours long, just kind of all the best bits and pieces. And then from there, it meant cutting it down and building up a story and a story structure, some sort of arc. Arthur and I spent a good 4 years, closer to 5 years, really working on the movie, any chance we got, after work, on the weekends, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So it came to a passion project later. And do you think, well, it was then, but then you guys kind of needed to step away. Like you said, you were on the high of the adventure and everything. Do you think this works to your advantage? Because you have all this experience now, you're older, now you can look at it sort of, does it almost looking at a different person when you guys watch the footage and everything?
That's a good question. You make a good point. So basically, as we were cutting the film, Arthur came up with the idea to interview us, looking back at us when we were young doing this trip. So we ended up shooting interviews, and that helped kind of weave the different scenes together and the different parts where we were and what we were doing in the movie. And it turned into kind of us looking back at us and how dumb and stupid we were and how naive we were going on a trip like this. So it's kind of a cool coming of age story, but not really, but just kind of making fun of ourselves back then and kind of telling the viewers exactly what happened on the trip.
We'll get back to the interview in just a moment. I know you love earning travel rewards and cash back, and that's why you're going to love Rakuten. With Rakuten, you can earn cash back on everything you need to book your dream trip, hotels, flights, rental cars, experiences, and more, while still booking through your favorite travel sites. And don't worry, cash back can be earned on top of earning the credit card points and the hotel and airline loyalty points that matter most to you, depending on how you make your booking. Plus, with Rakuten, you can also earn cash back on groceries and other purchases like electronics, pet supplies, and more. And the best part, you can join today for free and start earning cash back on top of your travel rewards. Go to Rakuten.com or get the app. That's Rakuten, Rakuten. Rakuten, the most rewarding way to shop. Now, back to the show. What were you thinking when you started watching the footage again and you were seeing yourself and you guys all together then? How did that make you feel?
So one of the first steps for me was to disassociate myself from myself in the footage. And I told myself, hey, if I'm going to be an asshole in the film, I'm going to be an asshole. If I'm going to be the good guy, I'm going to be the good guy. So I tried not to have any preconceived premonitions of myself or I was going to see myself on screen as a character and may not necessarily relate to me in real life, So that was the first step. And I think Arthur did the same thing. And just looking at the footage, it's kind of bittersweet because you're looking at yourself from 10 years ago and you're thinking wow, this is so cool. And at the same time, you kind of don't want to let go of that footage of that moment. So whenever I was editing the film, I just always felt this nostalgic sort of melancholy almost also looking at this footage. But yeah, I don't know.
It's so visceral, it forces you to reflect on everything, right?
Yep, totally. And then not only that, you're just kind of living with this footage in this moment that you're filming. And then you have to think about how are you going to piece together this this scene, you know, like in Indiana when we were skating through Indiana, and it was so hot, and we were skating towards traffic. Later on in the trip, we found out to skate with traffic, because then, you know, like the winds and all the wind coming off the cars is going to help propel us forward. We were going towards traffic in the beginning, and that's more dangerous, actually, apparently. You're just looking at yourself and figuring out like how to piece it all together at the same time.
Yeah. I can understand why you filmed it, because like we talked about, it's part of the skateboarding culture, and you obviously were into that. When it started becoming a problem, were you guys ever like, well, screw it, we're not even going to do the film thing, we're just going to be on this adventure? Or because you did get 100 hours of footage, but I'm wondering if you ever were tempted to just drop the filming part of the adventure.
We weren't like forcing ourselves to film while we were on the trip. We just kind of filmed whenever we felt like filming, so it wasn't like a job, you know what
right.
I mean? It wasn't like you're going out and documenting like you would like hire a professional crew or something, and they'd be rolling constantly. 100 hours of footage is actually not that much footage for the 36 days that we traveled. We just kind of filmed whenever, and, you know, we kept it pretty chill and mellow as far as filming goes. There's a lot of great moments that we missed, but a lot of moments we were so lucky to have captured as well. We got chased by like a dog from like a farm area, from a house, and then you know, just tornadoes like few hundred yards away from us, running away from that, seeking shelter. We were so lucky to capture what we got, because what kind of makes this film so unique and authentic is the fact that everything that happens in the film happened spontaneously. It wasn't like manufactured or anything.
You mean, are you telling me that reality TV is not real?
Yeah, I'm definitely telling you that.
Skating videos and everything, at least like the ones I grew up on, like they're supposed to be raw like that. The fact that you guys like were kind of just filming whenever and didn't plan it out is like true to the skating ethos in a way, more than if you were kind of like
totally
shot for shot, kind of, which you can't do on a trip like that. But
yeah, definitely. And, you know, we filmed like as we were pushing. Obviously, James and Tony couldn't like pedal their bikes and go. So Arthur and I took the cameras whenever we were skating and just getting B-roll shots or talking into the camera, things like that. It was such a huge learning experience for us too, because we've never made a film before, or we took broadcasting classes in high school and went to college to do TV production. But we've always done everything ourselves, you know. So we were kind of like learning as we were going, but then we were looking at the footage and we're like, oh, we could have done this and this and this a little bit differently. And that's where the interviews came to play, where we interviewed ourselves afterwards to really bring the story forward, to pull out the real story that was there.
Take me back, because I mean, I'm sure the footage took you back and you lived it. I want to hear how you guys felt, or how you felt on the first day. Like you're like, you got your skateboard in your hand, and like, you know, you set it down, you hear the sound of the skateboard, you like step on the grip tape, and like, you're like, all right, like we have to go from Chicago. We're here in Chicago. We have to go. Like, how did you feel in that moment?
Oh man. So from the very first moment of the trip,
did you guys fall like after 3 pushes or something?
So we set out from the Bean at Millennium Park. So the Bean is like that.
Yeah, it's like an iconic.
Yeah, iconic. I think it's called like Skygate officially, but everyone calls it the Bean. But it's like this super nice sculpture in downtown Chicago, and we were gonna skate out of there. We're gonna have this epic push. Our family was there saying goodbye to us. There was
probably freaking out.
Yeah, freaking out. Yeah, there was like a radio station there doing quick little interviews with us, local Chicago station, and we were gonna go like have this epic moment leaving, and then the security guard comes up to us and says, "Guys, you can't skate here. You gotta walk your boards out of the park."
That's so sidewalk. Typical skateboarding.
Yeah, totally. Just getting kicked out by security guards. Not even skating, just standing on the board. And so there's a shot of us actually in the film just walking out of the park and not like having the big epic moment of pushing away.
Oh man.
and then as we were skating down the bike path along the lakefront towards Indiana, we were by McCormick Place, I think, and the bike path just looped around, so it was nothing but like a loop. So we ended up like traveling like 4 or 5 miles on this bike path and it just brought us back to where we started.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so we're like, so then I borrowed my dad's GPS, like car GPS. I pulled it out of my bag and I started like GPSing where we go. But it's like a car GPS, so it was like take the highway and go 600 miles east.
Right.
So we were like, what are we gonna do? So we ended up going to a convenience store and buying a map, like a good old fashioned foldable map. We folded it out, looked where we were and where we had to go.
There you go.
And just started asking people for directions.
Yeah. The old school way, man.
Yeah, the old school way. And 2008 doesn't seem like it was that far away, but the iPhone just barely came out. There was no, everything's like, a tap away on your phone these days. Back then, you were still dealing with like no internet in your pocket and kind of the old school way of traveling.
would you say dealing with it, or is there like is it easy to look back and like romanticize it, or in some way? Because there's no question that changes the travel experience. Having your phone and using it versus having a paper map and talking to people, it's a different thing.
It is different. The human interactions you have with the people as you're traveling is great. Asking for directions, but at the same time, I wish we did have a cell phone with Google Maps or something, because that would have helped us out a lot and cut down a lot on the travel as well.
I love that you guys just looped right back to the beginning.
There's a scene in the film actually of Tony being like, "What the hell? We're in the same spot," and then James goes, "Yeah, we were supposed to go that way," and then everyone just starts laughing.
Skateboarding is not a crime, man. Why do these security guards got to chase you down all the time?
Yeah, I blame them.
Yeah, I blame them. My buddy lived across the street from a community college, and we used to go over there and skateboard like just to get chased by the security guards. Like that was the point of it. And then they would chase us and we would skate away and then go back another day. And so punk rock.
Hell yeah, punk rock.
So what about the money part of this? Like, did you guys have any, how did you save up? Like, 'cause you got about 6 months lead time. Did you save up? Did you guys have any money on you? What did you do?
Yeah. So Arthur was working as a transporter at a hospital, and I was a security guard working weekends.
How ironic.
Yeah, how ironic, right? Kicking kids out from skateboarding on this big business that I was securing or whatever. So I was going to school at the time, and I had no idea about like finances or anything. And it was rolling around to the next semester. So I was like, I'm going to take out a $5,000 loan from my school to go on this trip. And that's what I did. So I took out like $5,000. I bought a video camera with that money, and then the rest I just put into the trip. So everything was self-funded. Our folks didn't give us any money for it or anything. And then Arthur had some money saved up, so he used whatever he saved up. And then James and Tony also used their own personal finances on the trip. So
it sounds like a crazy thing to do, right? Like on the surface, like, hey, I'm going to take this student loan out and like spend it all on this trip and buy this equipment and stuff. But like, you do this professionally and this was your passion. So like, is it crazy, like looking back, like how much did what you learned about just filming or doing something like that about yourself contribute to like who you are now and what you do now?
I mean, if it wasn't for the film for Shred America, this cool idea, Shred America to us doesn't mean, it's not just a movie title, it means like just going out there, doing it for yourself, being ambitious and just believing in yourself and just going, do something adventurous, something wild, something crazy, something fun, whatever you want to set your mind to. Everyone talks like, I want to do this, I want to travel here, or I want to accomplish this, but not a lot of people go about and do these things that they dream of. So to us, Shred America is kind of like this idea of like just going and doing it. So we were going to do anything we could, and taking out a school loan just made the most amount of sense to me. And it was a passion, and I just took it with me throughout my life. So Shred America to me was kind of like if I want to get into the industry to make films or videos or anything, I'm just going to invest in myself and go and do it, rather than, putting that towards education. Although I did go to school, and I never graduated, actually. I moved to New York from Chicago, and I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it by myself. And I moved out here and found work freelancing, and that's it.
I agree. It's like, investing in yourself and, choosing yourself.
Having a vision, having a goal or an objective is important. Going to like if you're in college, going to class just to go to class doesn't make a lot of sense. You have to go to class to learn what you want to do for in the future, and that might mean, going and working for free or for a little money, just volunteering, like on movie sets. I used to go all the time, just PAing for free, just to gain experience. You have to do stuff outside of like school or work, and you have to work on yourself. And that's probably the biggest lesson I learned from Shred America. If it wasn't for Shred, like I wouldn't be here talking to you for sure.
Where did you guys sleep along the way? What did you do for all that stuff, like the travel logistics stuff?
So for the first few days on the trip, we stayed in hotel rooms. We were we told everybody we'd be like couch surfing, staying in people's backyards, hanging out with them. But for the first part of the trip, we were mainly in hotels just because we were so tired and we needed like good rest. And then later on, we got more comfortable with like asking people if we could stay with them. So there's a scene in the movie where we're at a department store, like a home improvement department store, and Arthur's like, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom and see if anyone's there and ask them if we could stay at their place because we have nowhere to stay. It's storming outside. We need to find a place. There's no hotels around. And Arthur goes to the bathroom and he finds a guy about to enter the stall, and he's like, really quick, dude, it's cool if you say no, but we're looking for a place to stay. You think we could stay with you?
That's an interesting opening line in the bathroom.
Yeah,
it's cool if you say no, but I have a question.
James,
like what?
James caught it all on camera, and it's such a great moment in the movie. And the guy ended up being like he was a college student, and so we stayed at his dorm room with a bunch of guys. That was in Lima, Ohio.
Hopefully I'll meet someone in the washroom and they'll be like, yo, man, I'll let you stay in my place, yo. I hope someone comes in here and I ask them if I could stay, and they should say yes.
So I go into this department store and I see a guy in the bathroom and he's about to take a dump.
I know you're like, gotta use the washroom right now, but really quick, me and my buddies were skateboarding across the US and we need a place to crash. Do you think like, anyone that would like let us crash at their place for a night? Especially since it's like a college town. We can sleep on the floor, like, it doesn't even matter. We have 2 bikes to take care of, like, put them somewhere, but that's it. You like any buddies? Take us for a night?
Man, I don't know, because we're moving off tonight. We're moving our stuff out of our place tonight.
If you want, we can, like, exchange numbers.
Alright, cool.
Alright, cool.
340.
340, 57. I think we're gonna find a place to stay tonight.
What did you learn about your home country going through it like this?
I mean, everyone we met was like really cool and down to earth, So one of the things that we did, we wrote "fuck gas" on one of the carts. It's kind of like a little funny political statement, because around that time gas was like $5 a gallon and everything sucked, and so we wrote "fuck gas." And a few people were like yelling at us, flicking us off, like trying to like ride into us as we were skating. And but for the most part, all the people we interacted with were like super friendly and supportive. And one guy like bought us pizza. He's like, "Yo, here's $20 for a pizza. I have a pizza joint right there. Come get some pizza." And yeah, it was just like everyone was really nice and friendly for the most part. The only assholes were the ones trying to like drive into us as we were skating. They were probably doing it as a joke, but it's not cool.
Not cool. We'll get back to the interview in just a moment. Now, back to the show. What was the toughest spot for you guys? Whether it's a spot or whether it's just like a day where you guys like didn't have good time.
Yeah. So, James Lagan, he is not athletic at all. All he did was like, he was like a homebody for the most part.
Was he one of the skaters or one of the bikers?
He was one of the bikers, James Lagan. He was the biker. And he never like did anything outdoorsy or anything. And
good choice for the trip.
Yeah, again, the people
That's okay though. I mean, that's what it's about. Just doing it anyway,
Totally. And so he was lagging behind really bad in Indiana. He was like a mile or two behind us a lot, and we were like, dude, I don't know if James could do this. He's lagging behind a lot. It's dangerous, What if like something happens to him and we're in the front and we're waiting for him and he never shows up, whatever. So he had a really difficult time in the beginning of the film. Towards the end, he was just powering through the Appalachian Mountains. He was nonstop, just pushing up and down the hill. He was a monster later. But so the toughest part for me was the mountains as well. The last week for me was so tough.
Going down a mountain on a skateboard, that's like no joke. I mean, did you guys walk some parts? You must have, right?
Yeah. So going up, we were just walking and pushing the carts up. So like we propped our boards on the carts and we would just help James and Tony push up. Going down, we would hold on to James and Tony's cart actually, and they would brake for us. So, we'd pick up a lot of speed. I'd be like, yo, you got to brake, man. I'm losing it. And then there was one time in Ohio where Arthur got speed wobbles going down the hill, and he ate shit and tore up his hands. And luckily we bought some helmets. So we stayed with James's uncle in Columbus, Ohio, his uncle and aunt. And the uncle's like, you guys have helmets? We're like, no. Because, who wears helmets when you skate, right? That's not cool. He's like, I'm going to buy you guys some helmets because it's going to get dangerous. And sure enough, like the next day, Arthur fell and ate shit.
Oh, man. That was fortuitous.
Yeah. And then Tony, he like popped his shoulder. So another stupid and dangerous thing we did, we rode at nighttime in the mountains just because we didn't make enough miles in the daytime. So we averaged between 30 and 50 miles a day. However, sometimes in the mountains particularly, we did like 10. Just because it was so tough. So to pick up miles, we would ride at nighttime, pitch black. If just cars are just like zooming by. And Tony was just riding his bike and he popped his shoulder. And it was like a big, scary moment there too, because we weren't sure what was wrong with him. And we ended up just like walking to the nearest town and booking a hotel.
If you're in like these certain stretches, you guys are on skateboards. You can't like... it's not like you can instantly get somewhere that quickly. But
yeah, and Arthur and I, we told everyone we wouldn't get any car support, so we would not hitch any rides or pick up like get a cab or something. So we vouched we would just skate the whole way. James and Tony, we would like get those guys we would stop like a pickup truck and be like, hey, can you drive these guys to the nearest town? They just have so much heavy equipment and we'll just skate there, no problem. So a few people let us do that. But for the most part, it was all us pushing, walking, riding.
So you said it was 36 days, right? And you guys made it.
Yeah, we did 950 miles in about 36 days. In those 36 days, we took about 5 days off from the actual riding. We would just chill. Like we chilled in Pittsburgh for a day. We chilled in Columbus for a day and some other random towns.
How did it feel when you guys rolled into NYC?
Oh, it was surreal. None of us have ever been to New York.
What a way to come for the first time.
Yeah, it was surreal. So like as we were pushing into Times Square, because we told everyone we'd go to Times Square, and just like all the lights, and it was just the look on our faces you could see in the film. It was just surreal. Such a great moment.
Did you guys got along pretty well the whole time? I mean, like by the end, were you you're bonded now for life because of this thing, right?
Yeah, for sure. On the trip, I got into a few fights with Tony and with James. Arthur was kind of always the peacekeeper between all of us. He was always like the level-headed guy. I was always like, come on, we got to go. We're telling everyone we're doing this. We're not doing it. And so I got into a few fights with those guys. But, looking back at it, it's like, it's all right. It's all good. We still love each other.
Do you still skate?
I do. Not like, I don't like skate anymore just because I don't want to get hurt. But I'll skate around town for sure. I don't like hit up the skate park too much.
What are you hoping to get out of this film? Like maybe personally and also like from people that are watching it?
Yeah. So personally, I just want people to watch this film and just feel like they could accomplish something like this. I mean, I think what the film does a really good job at is like taking the viewer on the journey with us. It's not like, oh, look how beautiful America is. You know, look at all these great people we meet. Because there's actually not a lot of that. It's us like fucking up the whole time. And it really puts the viewer like in our shoes as we're doing this. And it lets them like kind of relive their youth in a way, you know, through us. The journey for Arthur and I doesn't stop at the end of this film, because this summer we're going to go on a little tour of the US and start showing the film like at, you know, like in skate shops and skate parks, like libraries. So we're going to hop in his car and we're going to live out of his car for like a month or two, just traveling and doing pop-up screenings, you know, putting out a little tip jar and be like, hey, you want to see this film? Here you go. And so we want to like build an audience and stuff.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. That's a beautiful
like
thing.
We want to embody the whole spirit of travel and adventure in this film, and like the distribution aspect of it, because we're doing it all ourselves.
Yeah.
So
well, congratulations. I mean, it must feel pretty good to like now 10 years later, like have this piece of art that you guys made in this moment in time, you know?
Yeah, totally. So we're premiering the film in Chicago on March 24th, 2008, next month.
2018,
and,
yeah.
Sorry, 2018, yeah. March 24th, 2018. And Arthur and I, we rented a 1,000-seat theater in Chicago. We're inviting everyone over, just advertising it, and we're just going to show the film to everybody, you know. We're not doing any festivals. We don't want to wait around any longer. We just want to put it out there. So we're super excited for it. And it still hasn't hit me like we're done. But I think at the premiere, I'm going to probably cry.
Well, I mean, yeah, congratulations to you and the guys. And of course, the website, shredamericafilm.com. Do you have any other websites or anything you want to share?
No, that's it. Just our website. We have an Instagram account. So check that out. Like when we're going to go on tour, you know, we'll be posting stuff regularly of our adventure. And yeah, it's going to be fun.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time, Mike. Wish you the best of luck. And
thank you, Jason.
We'll chat soon.
Yeah, we'll chat soon. I'm going to make sure to send you a advanced screener of the film.
I would love it, man. Please do that.
Will do.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Cheers. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed today's interview. I want to thank Michael for stopping by, sharing his story. It was interesting, to just kind of explore that from a bunch of different angles. And I can't imagine, having all that video footage of me traveling like 10 or 20 years ago and watching that again. It must be a really surreal experience, and just cool to hear what that was like for him and the adventure and everything like that. I mean, I used to skateboard growing up, and that was a huge part of my life. As you heard during the interview, I talked about it a little bit throughout the show. It was a big deal. And I want to talk about what I learned about rebellion and nonconformity from skateboarding, and maybe how that played into my travels later. Now, a quick shout out to Michelle. She wrote me an email, said, "Hi, Jason. What an inspiring podcast. My husband and I are actually planning our big move to Europe this December. We are now in the process of selling our house, getting rid of all of our stuff. My mom decided to buy a home, so she's taking everything we own, paying off the last bit of our debts, and making arrangements for us and our little family to move. We also have 2 dogs that we're taking with us. It's surprisingly easy to move dogs abroad with you, no matter how big. We've been talking about this plan for about 2 years, and we're finally making real moves towards our goal." Goes on to say, "We can't wait to finally have nothing holding us back from the life we've always dreamed of. Thanks for throwing a great show for us to listen to." Michelle, thank you for listening, Michelle, and I'm glad that this show played a part in helping you out to inspire you to do all this. Before I let you go, skateboarding was a huge thing for me. I remember there was a very popular sticker and sort of slogan at the time in the skateboarding world. Maybe it still is. It just said, "Skateboarding is not a crime." And that was because, as a skateboarder, you would get hassled everywhere. It seemed like no matter where you went, you weren't allowed to ride your skateboard. And when you're a teenage kid with not a lot of money and a lot of time, you need to do something. You need to fill it. And for me, that was skateboarding. And that's what my friends and I did every day for years. I mean, there was no question, what are we going to do today? Well, of course, we're going to get on our skateboards and ride around. And consequently, we would get in trouble a lot because we would skateboard in places that we weren't supposed to. And the whole culture around skateboarding, punk rock music, and then later for me, it was hip hop and, the underground like punk rock shows and different things that happened. I didn't label them as rebellious things, but I suppose they were. They were nonconformist. They were non-mainstream things that we were participating in. And I think a little rebellion, or maybe sometimes a lot of rebellion, is a good thing at any age because it's getting you exposed to different ways of thinking, different ideas, people that are living in different ways than you are. And I don't know, there's something about it. And like for me, being a part of skateboarding and skateboarding culture and being somebody who like wasn't a troublemaker or was scared to get in trouble and didn't want to get in trouble, but then skating in these places or doing these things where like I could get in trouble was scary and a little uncomfortable for me. And I wasn't like keen on I've never gotten arrested or anything like that. But I don't know, that sort of experience of like, living a little bit on the edge and doing something a little bit different than everybody else. And it feels kind of good, As I was thinking about this, I was like, did my skateboarding years like somehow play into my travel years in a way? I never really thought about it before this episode, before I even sat down to record this episode. But now I think maybe there was a little bit of that sort of rebellion in me, that skateboarding cultural, like sort of nonconformist rebellion thing where it's like, okay, it's okay to do things a little bit different. And I want to do that. I like to do that. It feels good. And when I started traveling, it was definitely something that not a lot of people that I knew were doing and was not a traditional path. And maybe that's why it felt so good. I don't know. Maybe it felt good to just get that sort of passion that I had as a teenager for something, as a young teen, but I was so into skateboarding, just like obsessed about it and into it all the time. And that's just was our life. Get that for travel and have that be okay, even though it felt rebellious because I wasn't doing the sort of normal thing that most people do or whatever. I'm just using normal in air quotes. So maybe it did play in. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, a little rebellion, it's a good thing, I think. So be a rebel today. Be a rebel, my friend. And I want to thank you for being a part of this listening community, the Zero to Travel Caravan. If you haven't subscribed to the show, do it now. Subscribe. We'd love to have you on. And I got plenty of great shows coming up in the months ahead and beyond. And you can always get in touch with me and let me know if you're needing help with anything or if you want to suggest a topic for the show or whatever. I'm here. I read all the emails. Sometimes it takes me a little while to respond to them because I'm bad with the email lately. I'm rebelling against my email inbox, I suppose. Or being in front of the computer too much would be the thing, I guess, I'm rebelling against. But anyway, get in touch because I do read them all and it's really nice to hear from you. So thanks again for listening. I'll let you go. I will see you next time. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Cheers.
This podcast has been brought to you by ZeroToTravel.com. Ideas and advice to make your travel dreams a reality.